Hello and welcome to a video that I guarantee does not exist anywhere else on YouTube, at least. As of when I'm making this, a video of how to use the Hollow Knight Silksong Architect mod, which is basically, if you've ever played Super Mario Maker, it lets you make your own Mario levels using certain blocks. That's basically what this mod does. It's on the Thunderstorm Mod Manager, which is free. All you need is Silksong on Xbox, Steam, or other. I'm not sure what. If you select other, then you have to select it in your files. But Steam is what I'm using. Now, if I'm playtesting and I'm doing terrible, that's because I'm not used to computer controls, and I normally plug in a controller. But for some reason, my headphones never work whenever I use a controller at the same time. So I'm just gonna use the controls of computer level. But you may have installed this mod and are like, how the heck are you supposed to enter architect mode, or basically Minecraft creative mode? Well, you press your E key, and then this menu opens up, and you can fly, go through walls, and enter your menu. And then you can see a bunch of crazy things. You also see something such as the workshop and script editor. Map editor is where you edit stuff out here. Script editor is where you edit scripts, which we'll show you how to do later. And this is where you make your own quests, items, tools, journal entries, scenes, scene groups, and materials. So I'm just gonna go to the first wide open space in the game to show you a good example of the fastest way to do that. Is I'm just gonna speed run past Moss Mother as soon as it will let me move. Wait, no, I can speed run. And yeah, you can actually easily speed run the game with this. I did a 5-minute speed run. So we get past this cutscene. I'll just spam anything that could work, which I think is C space and enter. I think that's everything that works to skip dialogue on PC. So I don't know. I would plug my controller to make this faster, but I can't narrate. So all of these, you access them by pressing 1 through 9. 0 doesn't do anything, to the best of my knowledge. So what I'm going to show you how to do first is I'm going to show you how to place things and how to change their health and their drops. And then I'm going to show you how to place others. And then I'm going to show you how to place NPCs and items and random stuff like fetches. What do I do? Hello? I guess was hold C to dash. So we're in Bone Bottom, a nice wide open area, which is perfect for our experiments. First funny thing, so Kilby here, he can be killed by either a Rhino Grund in the base game, or the Skull Tyrant in the base game. What about a Moss Grub? I just think that that's hilarious. Also, always have an eraser. So let's take this Moss Grub, and let's make it buff. Stay awake, true. Stay dead, false, which is the default. Health, let's set it to 100 HP. I don't entirely know what this does yet, but show shard drops, let's set it to 150. And its rosaries to 5, 5, and 5. Now if you do something and you don't click apply, it doesn't do anything. Give silk to false. And increment journal false is another new feature I just learned about 5 seconds ago. So of course before it would take 2 hits, it takes 1, 2. I also have a health form mod on that makes it easier to tell. And yeah, this Moss Grub is cooking me. Look at my silk. Every time I hit it, it's not going on. So that's just the stuff to do with everything. Yeah, it drops all that. I would recommend just putting whenever whenever you're setting an enemy, I would recommend just setting this and this to blank, or in later enemies, just both to 0. Then the amount of rosaries you want it to drop, just like say I wanted it to drop 500, but to speed this up, we'll just set its health to 1, because I'm too lazy to kill it again. So look, and that'll decide the exact amount it drops, though sometimes it's not always the most reliable way to do it. I'm still not that best at doing that. So, we've done some stuff with moss grubs. Can you summon bosses too? Well, sort of. Like, Lace, for example, not in there. Phantom used to not be in there, but now it is, along with Trobio. So let's say, I'll just pick the first, like, and Belbeast used to be. Yeah, Belbeast still isn't there. So I'll just add a boss, any boss. Let's go with, Skull Tyrant. Set its health to, how about 75 HP, which is a near fraction of what it used to be. Shell Shard drops, that's 2, this to 3, this to 4, and this to 1, just to show, and then Silk, True, and then Active. This is usually not that important, but this basically decides whether it exists or not. If Active is true, it exists. If it doesn't, oh, and also you can rotate things. If it's false, nothing will exist. So I'm just set its rotation to 90 and its scale to 3. Now, if with enemies, I would recommend always keeping their rotation at 0, because it's just confusing otherwise. Yeah, because you see, it's nearly impossible, especially when I don't know computer controls. And I'm back to As you can tell, I'm still really bad at this. And yes, you can hit vanilla enemies in Architect's mode. So you're probably thinking, what if I want the vanilla enemies out? You can also use the right and left arrows to scroll between enemies and stuff. You go this way till you find, not that, it's this. Then you go up to a vanilla enemy, speed run to the nearest vanilla enemy, which is this guy right here. You can't place that at its normal spot. Oh, yes you can. I guess it changed it. Yeah, but also you would place that at its spawn point, and then it will never appear. So if I just wanted the entire game to have no enemies, I would just do that. And if you're not sure where that spawn point is, either just spend a while just looking, or just place randomly. Like this guy, he's not spawning, but there's normally a B spot here. Now, that's just the basics. You can also place stuff like platforms, like you would probably go to solids for that. Like, and it has all sorts of the platforms. NPCs, the newest NPC for me is this one and this one. And like, before, and they're also the boss version, so if I wanted the Garmented Zaza ally, and then I wanted to go all Garment, oh no, there's Lost Garment, and Ally Garment, and Boss Garment. So let's see, who will win, which Garment?
Sensible! Yep.
Yep, so we can get rid of those two now. But, yeah, that's the basic stuff. Now, say that you wanted to make your own arena that you cannot escape in the middle of... Sorry, I can't resist. Or no, there are also, like, hazards and stuff. I'm sorry, I can't resist this. See my Silksong videos? Haha. So here's how, like, say you wanted to make a custom arena right here to the left of Bone Bottom that you cannot escape. This is what you need. Let's go enemies, and I'll just pick a few random enemies, like that guy, and the fourth chorus. Let's just do the fourth chorus. False platforms. Let's just go. So we just placed his head. It spawns the rest of his body. So then we need a gate. The best are bone gates, slab gates, not for dating, or wooden gates. I'm just gonna use wooden gates for this. And then I'm also and I need some walls as well. So I'm just gonna go for a, let's go with a surface platform. Or no, something long. I need a long one for this. So let's just go with a docks platform 2. I would do this, and if you hold right shift, it will lock on, which is how we're going to be doing a lot of this. And although this would lead back down to the start of the game, we don't want the player doing that during the arena, so we're just going to block that part off entirely. Now, we're just going to place this here, hold right shift, then we're just going to place a few, and then to make sure that no one escapes, hold right shift again. Busted. He tried to escape. So there's still a little bit of, you know, there's a little gap here, so we can easily fix that. I keep forgetting it's right shift, not left shift. Anyways, so we're right here now. Now we place our gate. We make so start open is true. So let's place it here, and let's place it here. Now we probably don't want the player to hit a lever to start it, because then they'll just walk past it. So what we want is to get a trigger zone. Now you can set it to whatever you want. So, like, a trigger type could be player, nail, swing, enemy, other zone, activator. We're just gonna stick with player because that's kind of what we want here. So, and to make sure that they don't try and jump over, let's set it to 3 times scale and then set it to here. Then we go to our first enemy and we set its active to false. Let's give it like 50 HP and its spit attack. But it never make it invincible if you're making it locked, or unless you're making a troll level or something. And do the same with Pilgrim Husk. Health, set him to 20, and then the shell shard and stuff drops to 0, and then his active to false. And his fourth chorus. Never set the fourth chorus's health too low, or else a single hit will stun him. So then let's just, for the sake of it, let's go 166. Just a random number that came into my head. So, and he's false. So now we place our enemies where we want them to spawn. So then, right now, it's just this. The gates are all open. Then we get the next major thing we need, which is the cursor. Then you go to everything that's not active, so the gates, both gates, the trigger zone, and our 3 enemies, and we right-click them with the cursor. It has to be the cursor tool, which is right here. Then you go to the script editor, and you discover all these things. I would recommend zooming out quite a bit for this. So, the first thing we want to find is our trigger zone. On zone enter, we immediately want it to disable itself, so that it never appears again. Then let's say we want it to start with the Pilgrim Hulk, so we bring that to enable. Then what it'll do is when we enter the trigger zone, it'll summon this guy. But wait, we'll just be able to walk out. That's why you also click on zone enter, close the wooden gates, both of them. And make sure the wooden gates are close together in your script editor so that it's easier to find, and your enemies in another spot, preferably in the order that you're going to have them. So then, on death, you're going to enable the Acnid. Then on the Achnid's death, it's going to enable the fourth chorus. Then on the fourth chorus's death, you're going to open both wooden gates. And then this right here is already a simple gauntlet. I'll show you it in action, but I will not be narrating because I'll have a controller plugged in. So, here goes nothing. Anyway, so that is our arena, and if for some reason you want your fourth chorus to be as low to the ground so that the player can hit it, like there, like we couldn't move. And also, I forgot my controller wasn't on. So before, like, so, and since it's so you can never come in this way for this arena. Sorry, I don't know computer controls, buddy. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, buddy. So, this is, that's a great first arena. And this is great, and if you wanted to give something, then you would just replace one of your enemies and search for item. Look, item. But you want just the item. Then say instead of if you want the regular item, there's a link to the website that has a list of all the item IDs on the mod, but say I wanted my own custom item. I would go create item, and then we'll just name it item. Then we give it, and then we just give it, this is just a good description. Item type normal, we'll just set the max amount to 1. But this is just as an example. You'll do this, you'll name it whatever ID you want it to have that you would type in somewhere else. Then here you would do a bunch of, you would put its icon URL in, but I don't have any, unless I do. I actually do. And then you go save to see what it is, and then that's what it'll appear as. So our thing is just called item. So that in the map editor, we just type in item, but we change its active to false. I keep forgetting my controller's not on. And we place it, put our item in the script editor, and then on the fourth chorus, on death, and then it's enable. And then there are also things like a timer, and then like max calls is, let's go 15, like, I don't entirely know how this stuff works. It's like repeat delay 1, start delay 1, and then it's like on call, and then we'll just say it'll right now it'll be enabled when the Achnid dies, so on death, enable. So now, what I'll do is, plug in my controller again, so I won't be talking, but it'll drop the item after, and the fourth course will automatically die. The fourth course might not automatically die, because they don't entirely know how the timer works. Now that right there was a problem. Our enemy won't spawn because we haven't sat at a bench yet. So I'll just go back and then I'll start the walkthrough again. Alright, I'm plugging my controller in now. I will not be talking. Alright, I just don't know what's happening. So if nothing's working, then you would just save and quit. Delete the save file and just create a new one in its place. It will not delete the things that you've placed. It will only delete your progress you've made in the game. So, like, this item will still be there, but, like, if you picked it up, then you deleted the save file and then made a new one, you would not have this item, but the item would still appear here. So, that's just sort of how this works. So, that's the basics, but you're probably thinking, oh, but that's not everything I wanted to learn. I wanted to learn how to make the first room go to, like, let's say, I don't know, Lost Ice's room. So, this may cut the video, and if it does, forgive me. So, oh, it didn't. So, look, I'm in the Thunderstorm Mod Manager. I click Architect, and I click Website. It'll take me to here, then I click this. It'll take me to here, then you'll click IDs, item IDs, then you'll look at stuff. So let's say we wanted the first room to go to the end of the room. So we would go back in here, item, and then instead we would type in white flower. And then we would go. Alright, but our item is still set to false, so we're going to set it to true. Then we're going to replace it. And then, we got the Everbloom. So then, now that we have the Everbloom, we will, in the base game, you enter the Abyss the first time through a, what's it called? Not elevator, a diving bell. That's how you enter the first time. So instead of that, the way you exit that way is you go through a set of lava-filled platforming. So, since we can take the diving bell, since it's literally hard-coded to not be usable until Act 3, so I guess we can't go in. But wait, the platforming. We take the platforming route, we go down here, into this room, here. Down here, this part of the room is totally inaccessible until Act 3. So this is where we go down, and then this is the platform. So we just go here, and then we just go down. So the platforming is all there to the right. Yes, I know, this is traumatizing to me long-time Silksong players. You know this. This happens to stay on the right side. This happens. Where am I? I don't actually know where I am. Is it through here? Oh, right, yeah. It is through here. Like, I keep forgetting that I haven't blew up all the walls yet. So you go down. A little bit more, and we are in the Abyss. And then we'll just. So I've memorized the first rooms. Scene ID. You can see scene IDs. Right here, scene Abyss 03. This place in the game's files is called Abyss 03. See, this is the diving bell we're supposed to come. So through in, you can actually access here using no-clip mode in Act 2. Since there would be in Act 2, but in Act 2 areas in Act 1, you can technically have a quest for all 3 acts of the game in Act 1. So there's a possibility by doing some no-clip mode trash. So you go down here. So now that we're in the Abyss. Now, not all of you who haven't gotten to Act 3 in the description, paste the timestamp of when you can skip to when it's safe. But if you don't care about spoilers, you just keep going. Put it at the bench because, you know, why not? And this is how you would enter the final boss through. You would do all this talking to Lace, but this won't be any ending spoilers, it'll just be the final boss spoilers and a bit of, just, you know, like, if you're already in Act 3 and you're fighting the final boss, then it's not that much spoilers. This type of range is like spoilers, so this scene is called last_die. Now we could go to a cutscene one, though cutscenes, like, it sort of bugs the game out, so I would not recommend trying it. I'm not going to try it, because I'm not going to get to the stop lock, and I have to hard close the game and open it again, and I just not want to do that. So, and you can't place, like, special bosses, such as, like, Grandmother's Village, or Lace, or the boss you'll see down here. So, we're just going to, and we're not actually going to fight it, we're just slowly descending, and it's because the game or something ever really do this, because otherwise, the void the abyss that Gordon dove into at the beginning of this cutscene is I think the only thing that can damage us in Architect mode is why we have the Everbloom, because the Everbloom is the thing that makes us in the base game be immortal to it. Abyss. So then I'll just replace my triggers. I'll just replace the I'll just go. I'm just blind. It's this. And then we would go erase this. Then you would search transition. Then there's all this stuff. Make sure it's gate type door. Then it's door ID, just whatever. I'll just set it to 4 for no reason. And then target door ID 1. Then we go tut 01. That means first room of the game. So then you can fly into it and see we're back in the Moss Grotto. Yeah, that's definitely in the base game. And then we'll set collision trigger to false. So that way, when you walk into it, it won't do anything. Huh, that's weird. It plays. Oh man, that's weird. That's creepy. Then instead we set it to Abyss Cocoon door ID target door ID 2. I'll set it to 1, and then this door ID will be 9 since there aren't that many rooms. So then we'll go into here, enter. And then we're in the final boss room already. So, and then the final boss will start, despite us having 0 abilities, and actually being unable to finish the fight. It is impossible to finish the fight if we actually do this in the base game. Main reason why? I'm a coward. Run! Still playing the music. Okay, I need to boss like music. Please stop playing. I'm in the boss grotto. Please. Alright, it's back to regular music, I think. And there's certain bosses that aren't in there, like Widow, one I would really like to add, isn't in there, but for some reason, its counterpart, the First Sinner, is. And, like, that's basically everything there is to offer, unless you go, like, workshop, create journal entry, right on your URL. I'll just do this again, and I'll just do it, sample name, sus, add add before. I don't know how to add this, but you would just save it, close it, then you would add that. I'll figure out how to do that, then I'll create a follow-up to this video. Then like create a material, create material, I'll just Control V, I'll just do this. I'll just set that to the material's name. Save. I'll just name it Matt. And then you just go map editor. Matt. So since we could get a second Everbloom, apparently. That would be really good to sell on eBay, I think. We would buy that. Though, you might be like, wait, it's not appearing. Matt isn't appearing. So, that's why you need to go down to Matt. Item name, blah, blah, blah. It'll be, you have to do a bunch of other stuff that, you gotta figure out. Like, I just don't take the time to read all the stuff that, like, the update lists on the thing that teaches you how to do this. So, this, like, and it's different for everything, so I'm just going to I'll let you guys figure this out. If you want to read it yourself, creating a scene, this is creating a scene, it's group ID, so you would have to put its group in, then you'd put its name in. A scene group is something, so if I just wanted, I'll just have that be it. I'll just have it be, Hornet. I'll just call it Hornet, and then save, close, and then create a seed. Hornet 01, and then I'll just Hornet 01. And then we take our transition again. We're not set into that. So instead, we're gonna go to like door ID 1 as an example, and then instead we go to Hornet 01. And then we're just gonna head into there. Nope, we're not picking up another Everbloom. So then this will happen. There won't be anything there. Why, you just gotta place something. And then just like ground. You need ground. And the coolest thing in my opinion is you get a bench. And whatever image you put in, when you save the game and you leave, when you come back, it'll have that image as the, like, I'll just show you what I mean. This. So since it's clear background, it won't work. So right now it's just, it doesn't count that it's in the Hornet area, but if it was Hornet, it would work. I just wasn't very good at putting it in. So then we just gotta get, you know, like a transition to Tut 01. And that's basically it. That's a prefab. These are favorites saved. Prefabs, it's like you do this and this stuff and you press enter, like, this is what I want. Then I'd click enter, then saved, it appears. Favorites, or it's in favorites anyways, I guess. Or no, it's prefabs. Enter prefab name, I'll just say, Tuts 01 first room top door. As an example, confirm. Then that's there. So we're just gonna set it to a collision trigger is true. And then we'll just fly into it. Alright, it needs a tile map as well, which you can edit the tile map here, though it's not really working. So I'm just gonna fly in here. Yeah, if that doesn't work, then you just this is just the prefab, so you could just, if the prefab ain't working, then you can just, you know, so you just, for this, you just go here, this isn't seeming to work, so I'm just gonna save and quit, and hopefully it'll just spit me out back in my question mark place, but that's basically it. Much shorter explanation than, like, Fireborn's, explanation. Mine is significantly shorter by far. That's because I covered like most of the stuff. So yeah, that's basically it. Thank you for watching this video. This is one I'm pretty sure doesn't exist on the internet. And, yeah, but before I leave, one thing, this may bring spoilers to people who aren't just like earlier. So just stop the video here. Thank you for watching. Silksong. I'm gonna beat the game in under 20 minutes. And I'm totally not using a custom map to go straight to the final boss. Yeah, I'm too bored already. I'm bored. Help me. Help me, let me out. I'm spamming every key on my keyboard. Let me skip. Alright, I will stop narrating now. Thank you for watching. JK, no Act 3 spoilers. Ha ha to the people who wanted them.